Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Hope we meet you well, and that is to say, hope you had a great weekend. Okay, so here we are, on to business. Let's look at the, how does one phrase this? Fresh controversy, one might say, trailing IGP's, the Inspector General of Police's tenure extension. Now, that is what we want to find out. Is there actually a controversy, or is there what we have actuality that has been fully explained? We need to find this. First of all, there's the Police Act. The Police Act does, grant any incumbent of that office a 4-year term. Of course, there are other matters. On the other side, there's also a matter of retirement, which will be after 35 years or attaining the age of 60, whichever comes first. And so the situation with the present incumbent Inspector General of Police is said to be generating some controversy. Let's look at it. How necessary it is, because the Attorney General of the Federation has spoken, the Police Council has spoken on this whole matter, yet the word controversy still manages to be showing its head. Well, our guest today is an expert, Dr. Wahab Shittu, S.A.N., Senior Advocate of Nigeria. He's a lecturer at Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. A fine morning to you, Dr. Shittu.
Again, my delight to be here.
Indeed. Yeah. I really want to find out about this. Why are we having a seeming controversy in this matter of the extension of the tenure of the Inspector General of Police?
Thank you very much. I think, in my view, the controversy is needless if one understands our constitutional framework, and including the hierarchy of our laws.
Okay.
Hierarchy.
Okay.
At the apex of our laws is the Constitution. The Constitution is adjudged to be the ground norm, the basic norm, the uncommanded commander. That's the supreme law of the country. So, if any law that is inconsistent with that constitutional framework is seen to be null and void.
Okay.
So if you want to understand, and the reason why I said this controversy is needless, those who are saying the IG, Inspector General of Police, is illegal, I mean, it's a current stay is illegal, relying on Rule 020810 of the Public Service Rules, Rule 020810 of the Public Service Rules, which says that you either retire at the age of 60 or upon attainment of 35 years in the service. Which one it comes first? Yes. That Public Service Rules is a subsidiary legislation.
Okay.
It is a subsidiary enactment. It is an inferior law compared to the Constitution and compared to the Police Act. The Police Act is an enactment of the National Assembly, and in Section 7, subsection 6 of the Police Act, it stipulates that whoever occupies the position of the Inspector General of Police shall occupy same for 4 years.
Okay.
Now, how do you, in terms of hierarchy of laws, how then do you then, there's specific provision dealing with the police force? How then do you equate the provision, the clear provision of that law with a subsidiary legislation encapsulated under Rule 020810 of the Public Service Rules? Rules, regulations are inferior, very, very inferior to a statutory enactment. Now, if you look at Section 215, subsection 1A of the Constitution, it gives the President the power to appoint from within the police force the Inspector General of Police. subject to the advice of the police council. So, you know, now that law did not specify a duration.
Okay.
For the office holder.
For the office holder.
So if we rely on that law alone, the Constitution, then one will say that the president can appoint anyone to the office of the Inspector General of Police at his pleasure. The duration, there is no certainty of duration. It can be for 4, 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years.
But where is it stipulated?
But where it is stipulated, the timing is then stipulated under Section 7, subsection 6, that the office holder must hold office for
4 years.
4 years.
That's the Police Act or the
That's Police Act 2020. Police Act 2020.
Which was amended.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the specific provision now. So if you read the Constitution together with the Police Act 2020, then you know that the tenure of the Inspector General of Police cannot be faulted.
It cannot.
And no one can legally describe the Inspector General of Police, continue stay in office as illegal.
Okay, but how did we now arrive at the adjustment? Because all of those are fine in the law, on the law books, yes. But in terms of actuality, getting on with our daily lives, how do we? Mr. IGP Egbetokun became 60. I think that was last year, yes. But there has been an adjustment now, so he will continue mainly because of the 4 years granted within the Constitution.
No, by the Police Act.
Oh, by the police.
Section 7.
By the Police Act.
Subsection 6.
Yes.
As the Police Act 2020.
As opposed to,
allows whoever occupies that office a maximum of 4 years tenure.
Even if, as in this case, retirement intercedes in the matter.
Now, retirement intercedes in the matter by virtue of the public service rules.
Yes.
Which is a subsidiary legislation.
Okay, go back to that inferiority.
Which is a subsidiary and inferior enactment. You cannot compare the public service rules in terms of hierarchy of importance with the police enactment of 2020, which is the Police Act 2020, which specifies 4 years. It will have been different if the Police Act 2020 says that, oh, you must retire at 60.
Okay.
Or after using 35 years. And that and then there's a provision that says that, oh, if anyone is appointed, he cannot enjoy the 4 years tenure. But this Police Act of 2020 says whoever is occupying that office
must. Well, not must. Is it must or entitled to?
No, sir, shall. It's entitled to 4 years duration.
So
4 years.
So the appointment by the president, who is the sole authority, it's in order.
It's in order.
And once he so pronounces, it's going to be for 4 years.
For 4 years. So the question you want to ask is, on that seat, has Egbetokun spent 4 years?
That's the question.
The answer is no.
He hasn't spent 4 years.
Okay.
But his retirement arrived.
Arise out of the provision of the public service rule, which is an inferior legislation.
So, is it to be suspended? That is to say, the whole notion, the whole thought of it is suspended for this extant purpose.
Yeah, no. When there's a conflict between a rule or regulation and a provision of statutory enactment, the provision of statutory enactment will automatically supersede the provision of the inferior legislation. It's elementary.
And we haven't had a situation like this before, have we?
Yeah.
Where a person who is appointed is going to actually hit the retirement age before the completion of the 4-year term dedicated to that office.
Yes.
It hasn't happened before.
It hasn't happened before. But the fact that it has not happened before does not mean that now that it has arisen, it is not covered by law. It is covered.
It is still covered by law.
Yes.
Because the Attorney General has commented on this whole matter.
Attorney General is a seasoned lawyer.
Yes.
And
he has commented on
has
it.
Commented on it.
Everything is...
Law is so clear. I think people who are not clear about this, who still retain some measure of confusion, or should go and look at section 215, subsection 1A of the Constitution, which gives the president the power to appoint whoever he pleases from the rank of the
police force itself
as an Inspector General of Police, subject to the advice of the Police Service Council, Police Council. You know?
Yes.
Now, that section does not specify a duration, and he can appoint it for as long as he pleases. Now, but then the Police Act now then comes out to say, okay, it can only last for 4 years.
Okay.
Now, it's so clear. Section 7, subsection 6 of the Police Act gives the appointing authority and the appointee the liberty to occupy that position for 4 years. So there's no ambiguity.
So there is no ambiguity.
So in this case, the public service rules it will now be rest subject to the Police Act.
You know, before I go on to the next section of my inquiry, I wanted to ask, how does this affect the police? Was it thought how it might affect the police itself? That is to say, as you know, all these things are linked, so it can have a domino effect. If a person has been scheduled because it is known who he is or she is, that will be retiring at 60, and you know, all sorts of arrangements would have been happening behind him or her. But that's the situation we have now. What would you say to those who are saying that this is going to scatter the whole structure of promotion, advancement, and what we call in the police force itself?
Well, I sympathize with those who may have been affected by this arrangement, but we should understand that we operate a presidential system of government, and the president is vested with executive powers. What the president is concerned with, and will always be concerned with, is who can be effective and efficient. Who does he believe in can deliver in that position.
Okay, so this is becoming a precedent, as you people say in law. This situation, it hasn't happened before.
It hasn't happened before.
You know, so
it's a precedent, and it's covered by law.
Yes.
Covered by Section 7(6) of the Police Act 2020, and also impliedly covered by Section 250.
So going forward, it's going to be cited as a precedent if there is a need. Okay.
I think any reference to Egbetokun as an illegal IG is a misnomer.
Okay, indeed. Good morning, Mr. George, who has called in. Go ahead, please.
Good morning to Dr.
Shittu. Okay.
Uncle Yuri, I personally do not see where from in this matter. If you look at it from the civil service structure perspective, you see that service, the highest rank a civil servant can attain is permanent secretary. If he is lucky and he is commissioner or a minister, he is no longer in that position as a civil servant. In the same way, in the police structure, which is not purely a civil service structure, that the police officer can attain is commissioner of police. If his rank of AIG, DIG, or Inspector General, it becomes political. That is the way I look at it. If you are in a political position, age limit does not affect you until you it's just because you have not formally police service
Okay, the network wasn't very good, but perhaps, Dr. Shittu, you heard some...
Yeah, he was saying that when you rise to the position of the IG,
yes,
it is
now political.
It's political. And I think we should not take away the prerogative of the president to appoint whoever he has confidence in to be able to deliver on law and order and security. Although the president is subject to the provisions of the Constitution, he has to act. He has to be a rule of law president. That is why we started this conversation by making reference to Section 215, subsection 1A of the Constitution, which gives the president express powers to appoint the IG. Now there's it didn't specify any particular, that provision did not specify any particular duration. So the president is entitled to hide under that provision. To say, okay,
if that is the
since
word
the
to
Constitution is the ground norm, and it does not say, oh, I'm limited to a particular duration. So my appointment of Egbetokun as the IG, because that's the person I believe in, is in order. Again, the hands of the president is further fortified by Section 7, subsection 6 of the Police Act 2020. It says, oh, whoever is appointed is entitled to 4 years. There's no proviso to say, oh, if you are 60-year-old, you will spend 1 year, or you will spend 2 years. There's nothing sort of, and then recourse to the public service rule, that Rule 020-810 of the public service rules, is an inferior enactment.
Okay, whereas I hear that, just for the sake of pursuing this thing, for the sake of discussing and understanding it, why is there, as those who are calling the Inspector General of Police anything but a legally placed person, those that are doing so, part of it is because of the extension of this tenure. You are saying that the president has it's his prerogative.
Yes.
If he appointed somebody, what is wrong with the idea of he's only spent 2 years, but he has attained the age of 60? So therefore, everything...
He has attained the age of 60.
He has to then...
Which is a prescription of a subsidiary legislation.
Okay.
It would have been different if, by virtue of his attainment of 60, he has violated the provision of the Constitution.
Well,
or the provision of a statutory enactment.
Okay.
You understand me?
Okay.
If, for instance, the police service rule says, police service, which is a specific legislation, says, oh, you must retire as an IG when you attain 60.
Then that's a different thing.
It's a different matter. Well, I'm saying that those who are arguing that the man is illegal, they are relying on the public service rules.
And
Rule 020-810.
Yes.
And the public service rule, I've told you,
is a subsidiary.
Is subsidiary legislation. Is an inferior enactment. There is a hierarchy of laws under our laws. And the apex is the Constitution. Okay. Next to it is statutory enactment.
Now, okay, I get that. And
yes.
It's possible for us to go and be coming. But when, I think about a week or two ago, somebody, Amoyele Shore, actually made this statement, and it got further publicity when he went to court on a different matter. He landed, he was in court on a different matter. Among the matter that was brought against him was that he had offended in some way by referring to the Inspector General as an illegal Inspector General of Police. So I'll come back, but I think Mr. Is it Bariola from Orile has called in. So let me interrupt myself. Please go ahead, Mr. Bariola. Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead now.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you. We can hear you. Oh, we're delighted to have you. Please go ahead, because the lines are a bit funny this morning. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I'm hearing you. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm waiting to hear you. Go ahead, Mr. Kwariola. Go ahead, please.
All right, sir. This thing doesn't have any serious issue. The Constitution has spelled out what.
Oh, okay. So sorry about that. I was telling you that the lines are a bit, they're a bit frisky this morning. But, you know, what Mr. Kwariola was saying, at least I could get that much from one aspect. He doesn't think there's very much to this at all.
At all, no, there's no controversy. There's no controversy.
There's no controversy.
A careful reading of all the...
Yes.
There's no controversy. But again,
sorry, sir, where I need... Okay, please, finish.
Again, Mr. Shore is a citizen of Nigeria. He's a Nigerian. He's entitled to freedom of expression under Section 39(1) of the Constitution. He can express his views. And in this case, he has said the IG's appointment, that the IG's appointment is illegal.
Yes.
That's par incuriam. He said that, in my view, in ignorance of the law, but it's his opinion. It's an opinion expression. Opinion evidence. It's not the law.
It's okay.
It's not the law. He's entitled to freedom of expression. Yes.
Okay.
But again, under Section 45(1) of the Constitution, no fundamental right is absolute.
Okay. Okay.
You have the right, your right to smoke. Hence where my nose begins.
Indeed.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do get you.
If what you have said is perceived to be against public safety, public order.
Okay.
Public.
Okay. This is beginning to address the question I was going to end up with.
Then they will say it's not. Your right is not absolute.
Okay.
But in my view, I think Mr. Sowore's view.
He's entitled to it.
He's entitled to his view. But it's not that the view that he has expressed.
Fact.
It's that the view has. It's just that the view has expressed in this case. I have a lot of respect for him. Is contrary to law.
Okay. Mr. Kole in Ajao, good morning. Thank you for holding on. Go ahead, please.
Good morning to the doctor over there. I can hear what the doctor is saying, throwing more light as regards the Inspector General of Police, which is well understood. But there's one thing I want to talk about, for the fact that the doctor makes us understand that him being the president of the federation, being President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has the power to appoint.
We were hearing you, but suddenly it began to lower, and yes. I don't know why. But we were hearing you when you started speaking.
He will be able to deliver his job as regards the rule of order in the country, which is understood, like I said. And they're going to learn from the man there who happen to be a doctor from like Lagos. But my point is the first thing I want to ask, I appreciate that if the man there can throw more light on that. Why is it that the Inspector General of Police came online on the 1st of February saying that everybody should insure their car and kick up from that 1st of February? You understand? On my own, as a layman, I understand that is improper to tell somebody you authorize people to go and make their insurance on the 1st of February and you pass the order on 1st of February, causing chaos on the road on a daily basis. One, this thing has process. It has to do with money. It has to do with registration. You understand? How can you say something, you post a law on that day, and you throw it up on that day, and you say Nigeria should go ahead and start insuring their car? A lot have been happening on the road of Nigeria. You understand? I should have this order. I think there should be a time, a time given that, okay, this is what we want you to do, you guys, Nigeria, to do. Insuring your car is, as regard the third party, is a good thing, you understand? But imposing that order, you understand, and you kick up on that same day, I'm so sorry, you understand, I guess he didn't get it from there. So
okay.
I'm sure that you guys will throw more light on that, you understand? So
okay,
Nigeria to understand more.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kole. You brought in another aspect. I mean, because the Inspector General is involved. I don't know if you heard him.
I heard him.
Okay. We're talking about the fresh controversy trailing IGP's tenure extension, but he's brought up something else. How would you...
I think what he has said is reasonable if a law is passed for compliance. Adequate time and sensitization must be given to the citizenry so that they have enough time to be able to comply. What he's saying, which I think there's a lot of merit in it, is that you don't make a law and say, you don't want to enforce the law and say immediately you should take immediate effect from the date you are making the pronouncement, without giving people, because to go and those who are in default are entitled to be given some time to regularize their papers. Yes. I think there's merit in that, and I think that maybe if the Inspector General of Police is listening to this program, and I guess he should be listening, or have some of his aides also listening to this program. I think what the young man has raised is a very legitimate concern. Okay. And as a listening Inspector General of Police,
it needs to be addressed.
It needs to be addressed so that people are given. Yes, you see, there's no way we can run a democracy successfully without rule of law compliance. Okay. Okay. We need to comply. Rule of law democracy is what we should emphasize. Okay. People cannot be allowed to be lawless in a lawful society.
I get you.
The directive that people must take third-party insurance on their vehicle is laudable. But whether people have sufficient time to be able to adjust to is a matter of concern. I think the IG should address that.
Okay. Reverend Dominic in Alimosho, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Indeed. Compliments of the season to you, too.
Thank you, sir. Greet you, the senior advocate there, wonderful man, of great lawyer.
You wanted to say of God. You wanted to say wonderful man of God, great lawyer. Yes. Okay.
Yori, please, I want to say this before I say what I want to say.
Sure.
Yori, all of us are Nigerians.
Yeah.
And for which you see Nigeria work, we must put hands together to make sure that Nigeria work. We don't have another nation. You know, about the controversy about the IG, I have read the Police Act several times, almost outside when I'm outside Nigeria. About subsection 7 said that the police IG will have 4 years term. And I support that term because we can't be changing police IG the way we change our undies. This one comes today, he leaves tomorrow. Another one comes tomorrow, he will leave next day. Before he will implement his discipline, let me use that word, he's out of office. But my brother Shoere, who went to court for that, should remember that in Nigeria we must protect before our own ambition. That 4 years term is a good idea. Please, in America, some of the mates in media in America, some people who senior you twice are still in radio and television. In America, it's what you can do, not your age. Even though you are 90 years, you can work. You can keep working until when you are tired. And we have another nation. Please, that argument should stop. This man must finish his 4 years term. Let's see if he can reform police. That's number one. 2 is third-party insurance, Yori.
Yeah.
In 1992, somebody bought me the first car in 1992, Mercedes car. I've been using third-party insurance. I don't know the meaning of third-party insurance police want to enforce. Maybe I'm going to drive out today. When they see me, they may explain it better to me. Third-party insurance are part and parcel of every man that drives vehicle in Nigeria. Some of us who don't have money for comprehensive. What kind of third party are they talking again? They must explain it to most of us.
All right.
I have one here. I just renewed my vehicle 3 weeks ago. I have third-party insurance. Is there any new third-party insurance police is talking about?
All right.
They should explain to us. God bless you and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic. And okay, I'll bring this. Dr. Wahab Shittu heard this, but I've got to go on a break now. Okay. So let me do the break, come quickly back. Dr. Shittu will comment, and of course, we'll take it from there. We're discussing the fresh controversy trailing Inspector General of Police's tenure extension. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Dr. Wahab Shittu is still our guest, Dr. Wahab Shittu, SAN, and we're looking at the fresh controversy that has sort of erupted over Inspector General of Police's tenure extension. While we were away, Mr. Afere has called in from Delta State. Good morning, Mr. Afere.
Good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I want to talk on the third-party insurance.
Okay, third party.
I don't think what the IG is saying is we should go and get another or fresh and third-party policy. It's only telling us that we should, all vehicles need to have a third party, at least the minimum. Now, what motorists normally do is to go, when they go to licensing office, most of the third parties that we are carrying are fake. They did not emanate from the licensing company.
Okay.
So if you have a fake third party insurance, the police will come after you. But if your vehicle license, if you are going to renew your vehicle license, you must get the proper third party policy. So it is not a new law.
All
They
right.
are not enacting a new law. All they said that they will start enforcing the law as from February this month.
Okay.
So if you have your third party, if it has not expired, if it is genuine, you don't need to fear.
Okay, I hear you. But Mr. Ferrer, let me ask you something. Where did you get the enlightenment that you have just shared with us? Where did you get it from? Was it from within the statement of the Inspector General, or, you know, I'm just curious.
The Inspector General itself.
Okay.
We did not take time to listen.
Okay.
We did not say there is a new policy or you must. Maybe if I'm having my own that is about to expire in March, I don't need to go and do another one.
I hear you.
We wait. When it expires, I renew.
I just wanted to hear. I just wanted to hear, and thank you very much, sir. And you have helped us out by saying that, look, if you had listened to the full statement, the matter that is being brought up now just wouldn't exist. But Dr. Shittu, okay, now we're back. What do you think? People have brought in this whole third-party insurance, and that gentleman has just explained that it's only if it's a fake one that's when you are concerned.
I agree with him. I agree with him. There's no attempt to recreate the law. I think what they are saying is that the Inspector General for Police directive must be understood from the perspective of enforcement. Now, every vehicle owner must have a third-party insurance. That is current.
Yes, and genuine.
And genuine, yes. And so you can drive vehicles on our roads without at least a minimum of third-party insurance.
But the point that was made that shows the error inherent in such a position was that, okay, you said that from the 1st of February, and you've just announced to us 1st of February, not necessarily so. That's not the way it is.
Well, I think what they are saying is that if you announce on, maybe what the earlier commentator was saying is that, oh, if you now want to enforce third-party insurance compulsorily for all vehicle owners, then the notice should be a bit...
Okay. But it's not new now.
It's not new at all.
It's not new.
That
this is the way we have always known it.
So that people who are in default can go and quickly...
But which kind of default? Is it default of not having any insurance at all, or that you have insurance that the police will be able to prove to you is fake?
Particularly true. No, fake insurance, go and get a genuine one.
Yeah, of course.
Or third-party insurance that has lapsed.
Okay.
Go and renew it.
Okay. Abdullahi in Kano. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to the anchor. I apologize. I think I forgot your name. So
my name is Yori Folani, and I'm chatting with Dr. Wahab Shittu this morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yori. Dr. Shittu, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, thank you. I have been listening to every issue that is surrounding this matter of the IG's tenure.
Yes.
And I have a very important question to ask Dr. Shittu.
Okay.
My question is this. We all attended secondary school and some of us were opportune to go to the university. When a law is proposed, maybe it comes in form of an executive bill, or it comes as a report from anyone who goes through the National Assembly, which will go through the first reading and second reading and third reading before they would finish up after deliberation and then send it to the office of the president for ascension. Am I right, Dr. Shittu?
You're right, yeah. First reading, second reading, third reading, and then...
such document has been sent to the office of the president for ascension, and maybe over time, the president doesn't assent it, I believe the National Assembly has the power to veto such law and then pass it.
Of course.
Good. Now, in this case, could you believe that I have a lot of friends in the Nigeria Police Force? And if you ask any one of them right now that which police act is presently in force, they would all tell you that it is the Police Act of the 2020.
Yes.
If we are saying that the Police Act of 2020 has been amended in 2024, go through the news, all the journalistic media and the social media. There is no place, even when you go on Google right now, you cannot find a copy of the Police Act 2024. You will always be referred back to the 2020 version, which simply means that, and also, sorry, before I forget, we have not seen on the news where they said the bill that was sent to the National Assembly has been returned to the president as a form of a law to be assented to. Now, that is where I would like to point out where Dr. Shittu was mentioning the word sensitization. I strongly believe it is the fault of the police in this case. They have not sensitized the public enough to know that there is a new law which was enacted in 2024 and has been circulated. This document should be gazetted and then circulated everywhere so that people will know that it actually exists. But presently, I actually don't know where this Section 7 issue is being quoted from. I have not seen any document that says that that law has been in existence and it supersedes the one of 2020. So I would really like to be enlightened on this issue.
Okay.
Is it that the document was signed and has not been circulated, or what exactly is the problem that we have not seen the 2024 version?
All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your call. Okay, that gentleman has just explained that the 2020 Police Act, we all know. But this one that is really in force now is the 2024 one. And you heard the rest of his position.
Yeah.
How would
he made a point about sensitizing the populace about existence of laws, so that people are aware.
Yes.
I think that point cannot be faulted.
Yes. So that is from 2020 to the 2024 version.
But I rely. I'm guided by the 2020 Act.
Okay.
The 2020 Act,
which has been superseded.
Well, I've not seen a copy.
Oh,
of the
okay.
2024. I've not seen that law in force. So the one that I'm more concerned with a law that is in force. And then what if you see my analysis? I'm not saying nobody is disputing the fact that as a public servant, you retire at the age of 60, or after having put in 35 years.
Whichever comes first.
Whichever comes first. But that's a rule of subsidiary legislation. A rule of subsidiary enactment. It's an inferior rules, regulations that you put in place cannot be equated with a statutory enactment. So if you put those rules, if the rules and regulations run contrary to a statutory enactment, the statutory enactment will prevail. So the Police Act itself specifies 4 years tenure for IG. Now, there's no way, except you are saying that except that Police Act runs contrary to the Constitution.
Except it runs contrary to the Constitution.
In which case the constitutional provision will prevail. So in the hierarchy of laws, and the apex is the Constitution. Next is statutory enactment. So, and then after that, you have subsidiary legislation.
Yes. So
there are rules, regulations. I think for every lawyer who is a student of legal system, I teach legal system at the University of Lagos. I've been teaching that course for close to 30 years now. I have 20-something years. So
Okay.
what I'm telling you is what every lawyer knows.
Okay. Mr. Yakub in Dokwemo, a good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Chief Yori, and good morning to Master Shittu.
Yes.
Chief Yori, hello, sir.
We can hear you. Yes.
Thank you very much. Chief Yori, I think Master Shittu has said a lot, and then we all understand what he's saying. Chief Yori, before now, even I personally was trying, like, in the first place, I believe what Show Warrior is trying to say that time. Unknowingly to me, until last week, I think on Thursday or Friday, when one of the honorable House of Assembly, and the House of Representatives, rather, representing Plateau, I think Plateau State, is Chairman Committee on Police and Military Stuff, Honorable Gaddi, if I don't make that mistake for that name. And Shehu Okebaloye was interviewed this man on Politics Today. And then let us know that he was the head of it that was assented to by former president, President Muhammadu Buhari then. And then this law made
Okay, I think the network came in there, and actually Mr. Yakub had not gotten beyond agreeing with the positions that had been earlier stated, that have been earlier stated. So sorry about that, but at the same time, this is what this program is all about. We have an expert, and we want also considered opinions, and so we can look at it. And it does seem to me that Mr. Yakub was saying that he's on all fours with what Dr. Wahab Shittu has explained about this matter already. The other point that was made by those who would seek to somehow, tarnish is not quite the word, but sort of, point daggers at this particular position is that the wheels of justice are known globally, not just in Nigeria, to run very slowly. But in case of this Police Act amendment, it is said that the first reading, second reading, third reading, all of these were done in lightning speed time of around 1 week. And this is where people are saying, some people might say that, why was this any different? Why suddenly it is a global phenomenon that the rules of justice grind slowly? They usually are not, express materials like that. But in this case, it was done, very, very quickly.
Well, I think that also can be justified. Issues of law and order, issues bordering on national security, bordering on national safety,
okay,
national defense and all that.
Okay.
All to take primacy. There's no way governance can even take place meaningfully without law and order.
Yeah, right.
Without security. We're able to talk like this when we are talking because the environment is peaceful.
We are sure that the environment is peaceful. So we can't allow any vacuum.
Yes, that it's not like terrorism. We know what terrorism can do to any nation.
Okay then.
The Boko Haram insurgency, the way, and this government must be commended. I think they are doing a lot.
Okay. So and
that really, and that is what can assure foreign investors that the climate is safe.
All right then.
Investment.
Mr. Lasisi calling in from Lagos. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Go right ahead, please.
Yes, I would love to add to what is that? Yes.
You'd like.
Good morning, Oriyomi and Dr. Wahab. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Well, good morning to Dr. Wahab. I am not Oriyomi. My name is Yori Folani. But it doesn't matter. What's your question?
Good morning. Can you hear me, Dr. Oriyomi and Dr. Wahab?
It's Dr. Yori Folani.
Thank you very much.
A veteran broadcaster.
My name is Yori Folani.
I don't have much question, but I love...
oh, you don't have a question? Okay.
Situation whereby... Yes, Folani. So what I really love to add is the idea that government should be able to gazette our laws. So they should be able to gazette our laws. Then, if they've not done that, then the preceding one should take effect. Just like other speaker, when you refer to the Act of 2020, then people should be able to use that so that the whole public will know what is going on. Because it's just like we are in a cloud, which is not the best for the country.
Okay.
We need to know how the IGP operates, then we'll be able to know where we are and what to do.
Indeed.
In the community.
Okay.
That is one. And the second effect of what I want to discuss is the issue of third party. Nigerians don't really understand what the issue of this third party, because it has not been to our advantage. So we know that when we pay, the government gets what they want from there, but the public need to know their own rights. Maybe it's to the advantage or the advantage of the other person when there's any accident.
Okay, Mr. Lasisi, thank you very much. Appreciate your call. Look, there's a way you are on the road legally in Nigeria. You must have your vehicle license, you must have your driving license, and you must have insurance. Really, it's no more complex than that. Yes. But he is now, and it has been explained that whatever Mr. Egbetokun said, it wasn't a new law. He might be looking at it, maybe the police is looking towards, what is that word now? Enforcing it. Enforcement, you know.
The law already exists.
The law already exists, but now to enforce rigorously. And even before the Inspector General of Police had spoken, I don't think any motorist was feeling quite confident not to have evidence of his having paid for at least third-party insurance.
If you cannot afford comprehensive insurance.
If you can't afford comprehensive insurance, our systems is such that, well, do third-party. So, well, this is the second or third person that has asked for a bit of an explanation. But when I asked you yourself, you said, well, I haven't seen the 2024 Act, which speaks to the point that he was making, I think, about, look, we have to publish these laws, gazette them.
So that everybody can see.
So that everybody can see them.
Agree.
The police dropped the ball a bit in that.
Yeah, I think public sensitization, sensitization of the citizens. The police has to do more job.
Okay.
More work here. So that, yes, enforcement of our laws is critical, but we must also get people to know ahead of time so that they are not caught unawares. Although ignorance of the law is not
it's still no excuse.
It's no excuse, but at least...
And it's not a new law.
It's not a new law. It's something that is...
So it was in operation last year, year before?
Yes. But again, since the police are watching, let them do more sensitization.
Okay. And just to sort of explain it, this particular aspect of our conversation doesn't have very much to do with, you know, fresh controversy trails IGP's tenure, because that's where we started from. And that itself has also been explained.
And again, since the IG is covered by law, IG Egbetokun is covered by law, and given the fact that Shore is also entitled to his opinion, freedom of expression, I think we should not overheat the polity by some of the there are situations where some of these charges ought to be dropped.
All right. Okay. And a word is enough.
Yes.
You know, the way you have put it. I think I want to agree with you, Dr. Wahab Shittu. I'm going to leave it there. It's a fine place to leave it. Our guest has been Dr. Wahab Shittu. He's a SAN, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and he's also an ongoing lecturer at the University of Lagos. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us this morning. Indeed. So, okay, that's our program. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.